The movie starts with Brooks Radigan's monologue. He dreams of becoming a great person like his famous writer dad. Brooks wants to change the world and create a new reality. His best friend Murph always supports him and helps with his app development. They both work at Subway. Brooks presents his college essay to the school counselor, hoping for a spot at a prestigious university. The counselor advises him to strengthen his essay and look deeper within. Brooks agrees and leaves, feeling envious of his wealthy classmates. At home, his dad suggests attending a local college instead of expensive Yale. Later, he discusses his essay with Murph, who recommends writing about his mom leaving him. As a kid, Brooks feels a pang of hurt from old memories but quickly moves on. Soon, some classmates arrive at the store. Reese, one of them, complains about not wanting to be his cousin's dance partner, preferring to spend the night with his girlfriend. He mentions that his uncle is paying him to take her. Brooks offers to take the girl instead if he can borrow Reese's car and get paid. Reese agrees, and Brooks is thrilled to drive the fancy car. He excitedly tells Murph about making money, but Murph warns him it's a bad idea. Brooks brushes it off, thinking he's just helping the girl. When he arrives, a wealthy, intellectual man greets him and invites him inside. Brooks is surprised to see a girl having a tantrum and a stressed woman upset about the girl wearing boots instead of heels. Brooks sees Celia come down wearing combat boots. He tries to introduce himself, but she insults him. Celia is confident and outspoken. As they drive, she asks to be dropped off at a bookstore cafe and picked up later. Brooks insists she should go to her dance instead, and she reluctantly agrees. At the high school dance, Brooks leads Celia onto the floor and she starts dancing hesitantly. They enjoy themselves until a long song makes Celia awkward. Brooks pulls her closer, but while doing so, he notices a pretty girl and accidentally hurts Celia. He quickly apologizes and gets her an ice pack. The pretty girl, Shelby, checks on Celia and invites them to a party. Brooks wants to go, but Celia refuses. After saying goodbye to Shelby, Brooks takes Celia home. Celia jokes that he should start a business as a rich girl's chaperone. Brooks takes Celia's joke seriously and dreams of making it big as a chaperone. He and Celia start getting along. As Celia walks home, Brooks realizes she was faking her injury to get out of the dance early. He tells her he wanted to go to Shelby's party but couldn't. Celia says he wouldn't fit in since it's for snobby kids and heads inside, annoyed. Celia's dad pays Brooks and even gives him a bonus for spending time with her. Reese arrives to pick up his car. Brooks asks how he managed to get such an expensive car, and Reese says he worked hard for it. Inspired, Brooks vows to work hard too. The next day, Brooks tries to convince Murph to help him create an app. Murph is hesitant at first, but agrees once Brooks explains how it could benefit both of them. Murph's crush shows up, and he tries to hide his excitement. That night, Brooks eagerly waits as Murph finishes the app. It allows people to choose the type of date they want, similar to ordering takeout, but for dates. Brooks is thrilled and thanks Murph, who jokingly calls him a hooker. Brooks clarifies that he'll only act as a chaperone, not get intimate. Murph also creates an app to track Brooks's savings for Yale. The next morning, Brooks's dad tells him he's been awarded a full-ride scholarship to UConn, a public college. Brooks is uninterested and insists he only wants to go to Yale. This upsets his dad, and they have a brief argument. Brooks continues to follow Shelby and finds himself liking her more. As he starts working on his college essay, he gets a new request. He goes to an art show, posing as an art enthusiast, and impresses the girl there. Soon, his app becomes very popular and he starts getting many requests. He helps girls with dating advice, attends tennis practices, parties, and dance rehearsals. His phone keeps buzzing with new requests and he earns a lot of money, feeling confident about going to Yale. One morning, Celia calls to apologize for her earlier behavior. She asks for his help to make her crush jealous, and mentions that she wants him to go to Yale. She invites him to Shelby's house party, and Brooks eagerly agrees. He tells Celia about his app, and she explains their plan. That night, they arrive at Shelby's huge house. At the party, Shelby greets them, and Brooks is about to mention where he lives. However, Celia lies, saying Brooks is a wealthy guy from an exclusive neighborhood. Shelby soon notices her dad flirting with some of her friends and goes over to confront him. When Brooks asks Celia why she lied, she replies that if he wants to impress Shelby, he needs to play the part. They then spot Celia's crush, Franklin. Celia tries to escape, but Brooks pulls her over and starts a conversation with Franklin. Celia and Franklin quickly start chatting, and Brooks, feeling successful, steps away. Shelby approaches Brooks and seems convinced that he's wealthy, which he doesn't deny. Brooks returns to Celia with ice cream, and she excitedly tells him that she and Franklin are going on a date. Brooks is thrilled. They plan a public fake breakup at another party so Celia can date Franklin, and Brooks can win Shelby's sympathy. Brooks talks about wanting Shelby and going to Yale. Celia comments that he's chasing external happiness rather than accepting himself. She then offers to have her dad, who knows the president of Yale, speak on Brooks's behalf. Brooks is very grateful. The next day at work, Murph seems upset. Brooks asks him about it, and Murph says they've grown distant and talk less. Brooks realizes this and promises to spend more time with Murph soon. The following day, Brooks pretends to be a jerk at a rich girl's house. Celia then calls him to say she's arranged a meeting with the dean of undergraduate admissions for him. Brooks is eager to impress the dean, but Celia warns him not to be fake. Nervous, Brooks lies about being a beekeeper, which impresses the dean but upsets Celia when she overhears. She scolds him, and he calls her a hypocrite for pretending for Franklin. Celia leaves in anger but later admits her fear of being herself. Brooks reassures her. At dinner with Celia and Murph, Brooks learns that his mom is married to a wealthy pediatrician, which hurts him. Celia is also upset. After dinner, Celia goes on a date with Franklin, while Brooks takes a fake date request, leaving Murph hurt but understanding. Franklin's revelation of being a vandal unsettles Celia. Brooks talks endlessly about the fake date to Murph, who feels lonely and walks away. Celia, still liking Brooks, gets upset when he focuses on their breakup plan and makes hurtful comments. She slaps him and leaves. Shelby comforts Brooks, kisses him, and invites him to her dance. Brooks agrees but later finds Murph's shift covered by someone else due to Murph's hurt feelings. Brooks vows to make things right. An older woman advises Brooks on finding the right person, leading him to try and text Celia. However, she ignores him, still hurt. Celia decides to attend the formal dance alone, having had enough of Franklin. On the night of the dance, Brooks picks up Shelby, and they go to a fancy restaurant. Shelby talks about her future plans, and Brooks realizes they don't have much in common. Their conversation feels awkward. At the dance, Celia is present, and Shelby insults her. Brooks is captivated by Celia, but soon, a girl approaches him for advice about his app. Shelby confronts Brooks, and he admits he's poor and created the app to help get into Yale. Disappointed, Shelby leaves, but Brooks isn't upset. He reflects on his mistakes and goes to find Celia. They discuss their previous crushes and agree they weren't a good match. Celia admits she likes Brooks but doesn't want to be his second choice. Brooks understands and returns home feeling down. His dad notices and Brooks shares everything with him, including his confusion about who he really is. His dad offers wise advice, helping Brooks realize what he should do next. Brooks declines a new request and focuses on his future. The next morning, Brooks makes amends with Murph, who finally decides to ask his crush out. Brooks is content with his progress. He reviews his savings and starts working on his essay again. He calls Celia, and they meet at a cafe where he tells her he didn't apply to Yale and accepted UConn's offer. He explains he wants to be true to himself and not fake. Brooks gives Celia a letter where he shares his true feelings and tells her he feels most himself around her. He asks her out and leaves her time to think. Meanwhile, Brooks's dad lands a great job opportunity. Brooks receives a request on his app but declines it, though more keep coming in. He realizes something is up and opens the door to find Celia there. She apologizes for slapping him and invites him to another formal dance. Brooks hesitates, but eventually agrees. Celia drives him to his workplace instead, where he's surprised to see Murph and his crush. It's just the four of them. Murph reveals he's also going to UConn. Celia and Brooks reconnect, and they share a kiss, excited to start a new chapter together.
Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon, and stay connected with us.